There's dirt on my boots and sweat on my brow. The rooster's been crowing since 1:30 now. The field waits quiet, the sky wears gray, but I feel his hand starting my day. Not in thunder, not in view, but he's in the dust and the morning dew. He's in the dust and the dew, in the hush when the light breaks through, in tractor hums and robin calls, in the rise and in the falls. You don't need a grand church pew, he's walking around in dust and dew. I've seen him drift on a harvest breeze and ride beside me through broken knees. He don't need gold or marble halls, just a soul that stumbles but still crawls. He's in each crack this world puts through, and in every drop of morning dew. He's in the dust and the dew, in the quiet things we overlook and lose, in muddy ruts and creaky gates, and second chances wrapped in grace. I found more truth than sermons do when he met me there in dust and dew. From mountain tops, but he's where your heartbeat never stops. In the stillness of a workday start, he writes his name on a weathered heart. He's in the dust and the dew, where humble hands find purpose true. He don't need fame, he don't need flair, he just wants you to know he's there. And every morn he makes all new, with love poured out in dust and dew. So when you rise and lace your shoes, know he walks in dust and dew.
Morning light spills on the floor as I sweep the dust near the old screen door. A coffee cup, a ticking clock, boot prints by the wooden rock. No angels sang, no heaven split, but peace came down where I quietly sit. He's in the sweeping and the silence, in every chore and small compliance. not in thunder, not in gold, but in a broom and hands grown old. He whispers love with no pretense. He's in the sweeping and the silence. And the sink is full of yesterday's plates, and I scrub while the evening waits. A thought of him just floats right in, like a hymn without violin. No pulpit there, no grand event, just grace that rides where time is spent. He's in the sweeping and the silence, in quiet hearts and calm defiance. Not on stages, not in crowds, but in still rooms and linen clouds. He meets me there without expense. He's in the sweeping and the silence. I used to think I had to shout to find what faith was all about, but now I know he's soft and near when the world gets still. His voice is clear. He's in the sweeping and the silence, where no one sees but heaven's science. Each stroke I make, each breath I hold, is prayer in motion, quiet and bold. And in the hush he builds a fence around my soul, in sweeping and the silence. So when your hands feel small and spent, know he moves in every moment lent. The wind howls round these cabin walls, snow drifts high like heaven calls. The floor is cold, my hands are warm. Another long and bitter morn. But then the fire begins to glow, and I feel him in the amber low. He's the light in my wood-burning stove, where the coals burn deep and the spirit rolls. No stained glass shine, no preacher's prose, just holy warmth where the kindling goes. When the world turns cruel and the nights get cold, he's the light in my wood-burning stove. I've stacked that wood through tears and doubt, built that flame when the faith ran out. But even when my spark ran thin, he breathed the fire back in again. No cathedral bell, no angels roll, just the crackle in that old black stove. He's the light in my wood-burning stove. In every flicker, his mercy shows. When the dark sets in and I feel alone, that steady fire says I'm not on my own.
in ash and ember, grace is wove. He's the light in my wood-burning stove. Some see God in thunder skies, but I see Him in flames that rise through chimney smoke and sparks that fly. He warms my soul as years drift by. He's the light in my wood-burning stove. In every log, His love is stowed. He don't need robes or sacred halls. He's in the quiet when the snowflake falls, where my heart finds peace and the fire glows. He's the light, yes, He's the light in my wood-burning stove. So if you're cold and lost in the grove, let Him be the fire that never goes.
The house was still, the blinds were drawn. After Mama passed, we just held on. The phone had stopped, the flowers stayed, and silence filled the lightless day. Then came a knock, real soft and low, from Mrs. Dean down that red dirt road. She didn't speak much, just gave a hug, set a warm dish down on the rug. Cheesy noodles, green bean grace, a little love in a Pyrex case. I didn't cry when Mama died, but that smell sure broke me deep inside. Christ came in a casserole dish with tender care and tuna fish. No thunder roll, no burning bush, just kindness baked and gently pushed. It wasn't loud, it wasn't grand, just heaven passed from hand to hand. And in that dish I swear He came through love that never seeks a name. The preacher preached and the choir sang, but I found Jesus in that range top pan. Not in stained glass or robe display, but in the meals folks brought and stayed. Each bite was prayer, each fork was grace, and I saw Christ in every face. Christ came in a casserole dish, wrapped in foil with a homemade wish. No golden robe, no starry skies, just mercy made in a country size. It healed my hurt, it filled my plate, and showed me love still resonates. He walks not just in sacred halls, but through back doors and church potlucks. Don't need no wings or choirs that rise. Sometimes He's there in warm meat pies. He feeds the soul with simple care, in kitchens kind and Tupperware. Christ came in a casserole dish, a silent prayer, a neighbor's gift.
When grief had drained what words could say, he showed up hot on a paper tray. And I thank God for the ones who bring the gospel dressed in sour cream. Yes, Christ came in a casserole dish, and that's the holiest thing I've seen.
There's duct tape on the dashboard, and the engine coughs at dawn. The paint's all flaked and faded, but somehow it still rolls on. A Bible on the seat there, dog tags hang from the mirror. And when I drive those back roads, I feel the Lord is near. 'Cause God rides in my rusty truck through the potholes and the prayerful ruts. He don't need chrome or polished shine, just a willing heart and a little time. I ain't got much, but it's enough. God rides in my rusty truck. The AC's broken, squeaky, and the radio just hums. But we sing those gospel oldies with the windows down for fun. Sometimes I'll pull off slowly by a field of golden corn and thank Him for the mercy that met me when I was worn. God rides in my rusty truck through the stormy nights and daylight dust. He don't care about leather seats, He meets me right on this torn up street. Grace don't ride in something plush. God rides in my rusty truck. Ain't no stained glass windows here, just windshield cracks and holy tears. But He's with me on this old bench seat where diesel smoke and prayer life meet. Yeah, God rides in my rusty truck through the silent roads and the coffee cups. With every mile and every bend, He's more than Savior, He's my friend. Don't need no shine, don't need no love. God rides in my rusty truck. So when I go, I hope it's clear He drove with me all these years.
It was Friday around 3:45, dust kicked up by the old feed store. I sat on a sack feeling small and broke, hands in my pockets, heart full of smoke. 1,000 things I could have done right, but I'd let them slip into the night. He found me by the feed store, where the gravel meets that creaking door. Not in a church, not in a pew, but where the sky was honest blue. I didn't speak, I didn't kneel, but grace rolled in more strong than steel. He didn't wait for me to implore. He found me by the feed store. Old Joe was loading chicken grain, didn't ask about my hurt or pain, But someone whispered through that breeze, like peace slid in behind my knees. And in that moment, I just knew he showed up where the cracked hearts grew. He found me by the feed store, between the cracked sacks and the worn wood floor. I didn't earn it, didn't try, he just showed up when my soul ran dry. No stained glass light, no preacher's roar, just mercy leaning on that door. He didn't need a perfect score. He found me by the feed store. I thought he lived in places grand, but he reached out with calloused hands, right where the lost and tired go, where tractors rest and faith can grow. He found me by the feed store, in wrinkled jeans and faith unsure. And now I know, wherever I roam, he's never far from bringing me home. You don't need saints or robes of lore, he finds us by the feed store. Yeah, he still walks that gravel floor,